Hey, third grade. So we're going to keep going forward with our karate, recorder karate. We only have two more belts, so why not? Let's get this done. If you're still looking for harder stuff, let me know. Send me an email, and I will find some more music for you. And I would love to hear any videos of you playing through your belts and hearing how much you've been working on this. All right, so we're dealing with the brown belt today. This is a hard one, okay? So a lot of new things that we have in this. There's a lot of things to talk about. So, especially with a song like this, go to YouTube, go to the internet, and listen to it a lot. Really get familiar with it and get comfortable with it. And that helps us when we're playing it. Let me play it for you. Here's the brown belt. All right, so there's a lot of stuff to talk about in this one. So I'm just going to give you kind of the trouble spots. All right, so let's start out from the beginning. If you look at the bottom of this one, at the very bottom, it always gives us a new explanation of what's going on. There's a lot. There's a lot going on in this one. So first, let's talk about what we see right away. 3, 4. All right, I have my metronome here. You can Google a metronome. You can just go to Google and type in metronome. You can get one. I have it set at 72 right now. And that's going to keep that beat for us, okay? It keeps that steady beat, so when we see those long notes, it allows us to count. So in 3, 4, we count up to 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So that would give us 3 quarter notes in a measure. That would also give us 1 half note and 1 quarter note. Adds up to 3, right? Or we can have a half note and add a dot to it. So we've talked about these before. It's been a little while, but that dotted half note adds up to 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So let's go ahead and clap the rhythm that we see a lot of. A half note and then a quarter note. So we see that a lot in this song. So we have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. So if you look at that first line, I know there's eighth notes in there. That happens on the third beat. It follows that pattern. So we have 1, 2. So not until we get to me on that high D, just one finger, it's always that same pattern. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Okay, so we might have those, groups of eighth notes, but it's still happening within one beat. 2 eighth notes in one beat. All right, now we've got some more confusing stuff. When we get to me, I see a dotted half note. Fills up the whole measure. That's 3 beats. I have a half note. That's 2 beats. They're tied together. Gives us 5. 3 plus 2. So when we play that one, we have to hold it out for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or more accurately, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. All right. So this looks complicated. It looks like we have a lot of stuff going on, but there's not as much as you think. That's why the metronome helps you. It counts for you. So let's go ahead and play all the way from the beginning to me, and we'll stop after that. I'm going to do this with the metronome. I'm going to slow it down just a little bit here. It's now at 66. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Sorry, it's pretty hard to count while playing recorder. But we get the idea of that keeps the beat, so we need to hear that in our head. Now, here's the hard part, okay? We've got a dotted quarter note. Dots work the same way. If I have a half note that has 2 beats, I add a dot, I add half of that value to itself. So half of 2 is 1, I add it together, a half note, dotted half note is 3. A quarter note has 1 beat. It has some math down here at the bottom for you. A quarter note has 1 beat. I add a dot, I add half of 1. So I get 1.5 beats. So this measure, I once was lost. That's the one where we really got to think. We have 1. So we have to wait a little bit. That little 8th note that's by itself, single 8th note, happens after the second beat. 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2. All right, so let's clap I once was lost to the very end. 1, 2. I once was lost, but now am found. Was blind, but now I see. 2, 3, 4, 5, and keep holding it. We've got that fermata at the end, and the fermata tells you a fermata placed above a note means that that note is held a little longer than its usual count. So we have to hold that even longer than 5 beats. Usually we see fermatas at stopping points or at the very end of a song. All right, now I'll let you do that on your own. To practice it, sing and fing. Don't try and put it all together yet. Sing the words there, do the fingerings, and also clap and count the rhythms. 3, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 3, 1. Or when we get to that tricky 8th note rhythm at the end. 3, 1, and 3, and 1. All right? Brown belt, I think, is a lot harder than the black belt. This one takes a lot more work. So if you need to go back and re-watch anything, or if you need to hear some examples, you can go ahead and do that. I'm going to slow it down just a little bit more. That way we're playing it at some different speeds. Let's play through this song one last time. And remember, sing and fing, clap and count, write things in your music. There's a lot of new stuff happening here. It's 3, 4. We have dotted quarter notes. We have 8th notes by themselves now. They're no longer in their pairs. We have the fermata at the end, and it's a song we might not be familiar with. It's a lot of hard stuff. All right, let's play it to end. Ready? 1, 2, 3, ready, go. Had a little squeak at the end. Also, some tricky fingerings. Take just those little tiny spots to practice it. There's a lot to work on in this one. Take your time, go slow with it. And if you have any questions, send me an email. If you want some more music or something harder, shoot me an email and let me know. We're going to start playing a couple more things here at the end. We're going to do a little bit different stuff once we're past the black belt, and then something very, very special to talk about at the end of the year. So I'll hold that as a secret until we're ready. All right, I will see you next week, 3rd grade.